and almost no timbering has been done this side of the river because they have this bridge to protect them from anybody coming in. And so that's why the majority of the timber is still virgin, and there's such a great expanse of timber because the river has kept everybody from coming in. We're going to leave now and drive across the road. I'm going to show you the entrance to the H&K property. Actually, we're just now getting ready to leave the Friesen property, but I wanted to show you this piece of land at the entrance of the Friesen property, just to show you how flat and nice this property is when it's cleared. Being this is all alongside the river, she's almost flat as a board. It's a plain along the river. So we can definitely put in irrigation, gravity flow irrigation, center pivots, whatever. I'm going to show you the entrance to the H&K, and I'm going to show you some other land along the road. It's clear to give you an idea. Here we are leaving Monte Cristo. We're going to hit the highway and go straight down the highway to H&K, which is only about a mile down the highway. I also forgot to mention the river is full of water year-round, so we have irrigation resources from that. And we have groundwater in the aquifer underground at about 100 feet. It runs between this river and another river about 20 miles away. So we have plenty of access to irrigation water for the future. Here we are coming down the road, coming up on the other property, H&K, at the left-hand side, leaving the Friesens. I went ahead and punched my odometer so you can see it is 1.3 miles from the entrance of the Friesens to the entrance of the H&K. So it's really, really close. In this day and age, to find these properties large like this, with titles, undeveloped, this close together is literally impossible nowadays because of the land grab going on up here. Everybody's buying land as fast as they can. Mennonites, Brazilians, Russians, Argentinians, the whole world is out trying to find land right now. And so for us to find this land is nothing short of a miracle. Here's the entrance to H&K, Hacienda HK, H&K. Right down there is the Friesens, and here's the entrance. I'm not going to go in this time, only because we have all kinds of pictures inside of their place that I've sent before, and I don't want to stir anybody up here. So anyway, it's only a mile, 1.3 miles from the entrance to entrance of the two properties, so they're basically the same. And the forest is going to be exactly the same on the inside of this one because they're so close together, so you can use that for reference. If you look ahead, you see kind of a mountain in the distance. That's a great big rock mountain that cuts across the center of the property up here. The foothills, that mountain cuts across from right to left. It's coming here, would come right over here across the front of H&K, but it's just foothills. But that's pure rock. And so that's what's going to give us all the ripio and rock we need to build our roads. I'll take a picture up on the road here of the actual rock formation to give you an idea here in just a second. This is H&K, and H&K 2 is directly behind it. This is a great example of the land. This is literally right past H&K on the same side as the Friesens. This is land that was cleared by the Mennonites just a couple of years ago. The whole thing is planted to rice right now. They're right now harvesting their second cut of rice. Remember I told you it grows back for a second harvest? Here they are, the second harvest of rice. Look at how beautiful it grew back. These are Mennonites, all in front of H&K, and the Friesens is full of Mennonite. A big colony moved in here, and they're buying land as fast as they can get a hold of it. The only reason they haven't bought the Friesen or H&K is because it's a big piece, and they look for smaller pieces, but they are trying to buy it. This gives you an idea of how flat the ground is. There's the highway. How perfectly beautiful and flat and level this ground is. Back in the background here, the far end of the picture you see, that is the river we crossed. Back behind those trees where that river is. Behind those trees is where the Friesen land is. But this gives you a good idea of how nice and flat and perfect this ground is. It has almost a perfect lie, no grade, flat, perfect for irrigation. For flood irrigation or for center pivots. Just to give you an idea, there's their second cutting of rice. This is all dry land rice without irrigation. Look at how beautiful it is. This is the second cutting. Very productive land. You get a picture here, but this is the mountain range or small hills that runs across the front, along the road and across the front of H&K. And you can see here where they blasted the rock out to build the base for this road. The foothills of this cerro, they call it in Spanish, which is a big rock range, runs across the front of H&K, which gives us all the rock base and ripfill we'll need and gravel to build all of our roads infrastructure right on the properties. And also the same cerro, the same small foothills, is what protected the backside of protected all of H&K from any lumber being taken out. And then the river protected the freezing property from any lumber, so both properties have been protected, so no forestry has been done hardly of any kind at all, so we have all virgin forest. Okay, now we're going to go down and go by my property. I actually just stopped here for a second. I wanted to show you this other farm is down the road from us. This is actually a farm that I owned with a friend of mine when I first came down, but he passed away and we sold the farm to somebody else. Just wanted to show you how pretty the land lays when it's all worked up. This is also along the highway in front of the river. The river is back farther on this property. Just showing you how nice and pretty the land lays and how flat it is and how nice it works up when it's all worked up. The ground works up beautiful here and nice and flat and real fallow and real level. Just wanted to show you that real quick. Thought it was interesting. Here's the 1680 we brought from the United States. Here's the boys harvesting with the small combines. Here's where we combined earlier. This is the 1,000 hectares of flooded rice land where we cleared it and planted the rice. Okay, we're loading the truck, my grain cart, and the guys all eating lunch. See the forest in the background. See the combines going. They use the smaller ones here with tracks on them. Here we come out with a grain cart and see the water we've been fighting. Had that late rain really made it a booger for getting it out, but here we're coming out with a grain cart and full of rice. Gonna go over and put her in the truck.